Ruben Amorim job and Ange Postecoglou took off Arne Slot's pants, and guess what? The next thing you know, Arne Slot gets lost in the same forest he went to the last time and gets lost again. But this time around, Diogo Jota saved them, and just when you think they can get a breather, they look back and guess who's chasing them? Arsenal. Those North London bums are on their neck like Dracula. I can't believe it. Mo Santa's Christmas curse finally caught up to him because he was anonymous the last 3 games. First against United, then against Spurs, and now against Forest. He was so anonymous, you may as well call him Ask.fm from back in the day. In fact, he was so anonymous, you may as well change his name from Mohamed Salah to Mohamed Sina because you couldn't see him. Nah, but honestly, it would be idiotic of me to put the blame on him after the way he's been performing this whole season. I got my eyes on Andrew Robertson once again instead. The fact that Andrew Robertson is still a starter for Liverpool Football Club in 2025 blows my mind. He's one of those starters that when you go to a restaurant and you ask the waitress, hey, what do you recommend for starters? She says, not Andrew Robertson. He's washed. Because guess what? Liverpool's defending has been absolutely shambolic. You've only got one person at the back, Virgil van Dijk. It's literally a one-man show. Just 2 weeks ago, it looked like Liverpool were about to run away with the league like a relay race. But now, Arsenal are only 4 points behind them. They had so many points that looked like a stack of needles. But now, soon, it's gonna be Broken Needle FC. Pointless. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 1, and Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, if it looks like I have a lisp or I'm slurring over my words, it's because I have this weird blister in my mouth and it hurts and I'm struggling to speak, to be honest. So I'm going to try to keep this one short. And in short, Liverpool are going to let it slip once again. What a surprise. And honestly, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of this shit. Every single year they're in a title race, they always let it slip. No pun intended, man. Stevie G, I love you, but bro, I'm tired of this, man. 2009, 2013, 14, 2018, 19. The only time they ran away with the league was 1920, man. I can't take this anymore. Honestly. Every single time that need to muster up a win, they always fall short. Last 2 games, they've only gotten 1 point. 2 points, sorry. First against United and then against Nottingham Forest. Against United, that game was absolutely unforgivable. Against Forest, they're the second best team in the league, so it kind of makes sense. But bro, oh man. Every single time I go on Twitter, people are like, oh, have some faith. You're 4 points ahead with a game in hand. Bro, we could have been like 11 or 12 or 15 points ahead like 2 weeks ago. Are you serious? Like, it's crazy, man. And honestly, emotionally and mentally, I don't know if I have another title race or another slip up in me, man. Especially after that 1 week when the whole Aston Villa thing happened, when Felipe Coutinho scored. Steven Gerrard was their manager. And then they lost the Champions League as well in the same week. And then countless other times, man, they just fall short at the last minute. It's just physically, emotionally, mentally, it's exhausting. And honestly, if they bottle the league to Arsenal out of all the teams, Arsenal are bums. They don't have Saka, they don't have anybody. And bro, if Liverpool lose the league to Arsenal, nah, man. That's unforgivable. When you have a spine of Mo Salah, Alisson, Trent, and Van Dijk, you have no excuses, especially because you've won it before. You've been there. But guess what? It's the same squad as last season, and Liverpool let it slip last season too. What faith am I supposed to have? Do I have PTSD from Man City? You bet your ass I do. But can you even blame me? But as far as the Nottingham Forest game goes, honestly, it was everything you expected from that game. Nottingham Forest parked the bus, and they scored a goal in the 8th minute after Liverpool took some long shots. I don't know what they were thinking. They were not playing with any patience at all. It was just a crazy game. And Alisson Becker, honestly, I know I praised him when he came back from his injury when he replaced Kelleher, but bro, I don't think he's it anymore. Like, he hasn't saved most of his shots that he's faced ever since he's come back. And even that shot from Chris Wood, he should have saved. Don't get me wrong, that defending from Liverpool was absolutely horrible. I don't know where a half-fit Konate was going. And then Van Dijk played Chris Wood onside. Bro, Liverpool's defending has been shambolic ever since Konate got injured against Real Madrid. It's been almost 2 months, and they just don't look the same defensively like they did before. First 16 games of the season, they look like title-winning team, but now they just look like scrubs, man. I know I'm exaggerating, but like seriously, they look like scrubs. Luckily, Arne Slot always comes clutch in the second half, and I know he's been being praised for his second half management, but bro, why can't you just do that in the first half? Why can't you do that when the game starts? I don't understand. Just start the way you do things in the second half. I know you have to analyze and do this and do that and go accordingly, but nah, man, that false line Luis Diaz thing has to stop, especially against low blocks. You have to start Diogo Jota. Dare I say it, even Darwin Núñez would do a better job against low blocks. At least he makes runs and he's physical and he can hold up the ball, but the whole false line Luis Diaz thing doesn't work out. Mo Salah was poor. And honestly, it's forgivable because he's been playing really well for the last few weeks. But even for that first goal, he didn't fight. He's backing out of 50-50s. I need to see fight. At least if you're not on form, if your touch is bad, because that's the way it was going for Mo Salah that game. If your touch is bad, then that's fine. But at least fight. At least put in 100% in the 50-50s so that you're winning your challenges, you're winning second balls, especially against Nottingham Forest. They're a very physical side, and against them, it's really important that you win your physical duels. Those 50-50 challenges, those second balls, you have to win them. And that's just the way it is. But unfortunately, it was the same old story as the first leg at Anfield. But luckily this time, Diogo Jota saved them. And bro, Andrew Robertson cannot play for Liverpool anymore. I don't know what Arne Slot is thinking, and Arne Slot has to be blamed for a lot of reasons, for a lot of things recently. He's been making really bad decisions, and honestly, Liverpool's squad looks bleak, and my eyes are on FSG this time. Bro, FSG, honestly, this is a tale older than me, and I'm pretty old, I'm not gonna lie. And FSG just refused to spend on this team every single time their team is looking good to win the league. They always just sit on their hands and they don't spend money. Right now, they need a center back, they need a DM, and they need a left back. But instead, they're not signing anybody. They just rejected a bid of 70 million for Darwin Núñez. Are you mad? How greedy do you have to be? It's ridiculous, man. But honestly, the only person I'm going to give a shout out to from that whole performance against Forest was Ryan Gravenberch. I know Liverpool could have won, but obviously, as you all know, every single keeper decides to have a 10 out of 10 game against Liverpool, and that's just the way it is. But Ryan Gravenberch at DM, and then Arne Slot played him center back in the second half. Bro, he's imperious even as a center back. It's crazy. And Van Dijk was literally a one-man show at the back because Gravenberch would go forward from center back and attack. But yeah, Van Dijk is Van Dijk. Like, the more you say about him, it's just not enough. So you know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that for Liverpool. To be honest, I don't really have anything else to say. And the problem is that they should have been miles ahead in the league, but instead they're not. And now they're 4 points ahead of Arsenal. Only 4 points. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Arsenal and Spurs game. And to be honest, Arsenal are not good. But the only problem is Spurs are even worse. Both teams are riddled with injury. Arsenal just do what Arsenal do all the time. They just rely on corners. There's a reason why people call them Stoke City FC. You know what I'm trying to say? And they always live up to that name. They always score a corner. And the worst part is, in this game, that wasn't even supposed to be a corner. But still, they scored. And honestly, Tottenham Hotspur, they've lost, I think, 11 or 12 games in the league now. And big questions have to be asked from Ange Postecoglou. This guy, honestly, he's not it. Even with a fit team in the beginning of the season, he was not playing good with his team. Even when he had Van de Ven and Romero and everybody else, he just wasn't doing it. And honestly, our Spurs have to let him go. It's just ridiculous now. You can't lose 12 games in the league and it's only been January. You know what I'm trying to say? It's actually ridiculous. It just can't happen. So Spurs, honestly, if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm out. I'm going to be honest. As far as Arsenal go, I mean, it's actually ridiculous that Liverpool have been pretty much flawless for the first 15, 16 games, and yet they're only 4 points ahead of Arsenal. Yes, they have a game in hand, but against Everton, you never know. Even though they have a new manager and David Moyes and this and that, but bro, I can't, man. Can't do this anymore, bro. Like every single time it looks like Liverpool are gonna run away with the league, they bottle it somehow. I don't know how. And bro, honestly, man, if Liverpool bottled the league to Arsenal, I don't know if I have any more football in me left anymore. I'm gonna be honest. Like, can't speak right now. It's just peak, man. It's just peak. And I know I've said this a lot of times before that, oh yeah, you know what, I'm gonna stop watching football and this and that, and it's not gonna happen. But it's highly likely that it's probably gonna happen because I just can't take it anymore. The mental, the emotional stress, the having to look at the league table and counting and calculating, bro, I can't, man. And this is all thanks to Pep Guardiola because this guy has given us major PTSD. So you know what, Pep? Thank you for absolutely nothing. Yup. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna keep this video short. As I said, my mouth hurts a lot. So all I'm gonna say is that this weekend is huge for Liverpool because Arsenal play right after against Aston Villa, and Aston Villa always have their number. So Una Emery, please give us a good evening. And Arne Slot, bro, you have to get a win. You just absolutely have to get a win. Liverpool have to go on a 5-game streak now where they just win somehow, some way. I don't care how you do it. You have to win these next 5 games. Otherwise, that's another title gone. And Van Dijk's legacy and Mo Salah's legacy will always be a huge what if. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. We move! Yay!